Hey folks, today is Wednesday, January the 20th, 2021, and I just wanted to record a quick video here. I know I've been lax on updating our zero-date expiration trades, and I'll try to do better on that going forward, but I did want to share today's experience with you because I think that it really talks more about A, having a game plan, and B, having a rationale around that game plan. I think that is really the critical thing that I want to share here today. You know, so if you look at today, this was today's action in the marketplace. And we started off like a rocket ship in the morning and had a little bit of a pause that sort of faked us out. We ended up putting a call leg in up in this level up here at I think the 3860 level, if I believe. We'll look at it here in just a second, but I think it was the 3860 level. Thinking up at this level here that we would be very safe, you know, when the market was still down here. And of course, the market just continued to march higher throughout the day. The inauguration of the new president, and the market was just kind of clear sailing today. But if you look at our results, you can see that I put up about $5,000 on the day and brought in $800 in credits, had about $50 in fees. So $750 was my net on the day on a $5,000 investment. So it wasn't a big day. You know, sometimes I trade $1,000, sometimes I trade $250,000. Today was a smaller day. I had other trades going on that absorbed most of my capital. That's not really the point. You know, $750 net on a $5,000 trade is about 15% on the day. It's pretty tough to get better than that on a zero-day expiration. But the thing that I wanted to share with you is, again, just this idea of having a game plan or having a strategy to go forward. We were right up here, so you can see what we sold here. If you look at our activity, well, let's go back to our history, and you can see right there the call legs, and again, that was the ones, the 3870s was our long position, 3860s. So it was the 3860s that we were short here on this particular trade. And you can see we pushed right up to that 3860. Let's see, that was about 1:45 p.m. Mountain Time, so 15 minutes before the close. And you know, you start to freak out at that level because it gets really difficult it gets difficult with 15 minutes left in the trading day to do any type of hedging strategy or adjusting strategy. At that point, it's starting to get a little late in the game, obviously, and so you're just kind of along for the ride. You can obviously exit, you can obviously roll. And there were some things that we were looking at doing. We're looking at adding a long call, a little bit longer dated long call position to the trade to hedge the overall results of the trade, hedge the risk of the trade. But the key was that at that level right there, we were looking at the tick, we were looking at the trend, we were looking at level 2 quotes, and we were looking at pivot points. We were looking at Bollinger Bands. We were looking at all of these technical indicators that were just basically telling us that the buying was drying up and that sellers were starting to come back into the trade. So we held it, and in this case, not always, you know, it doesn't always work out, but in this case we were proven correct, and the market sold back off again, and I had a really, really nice day, and I felt good about the trade as the day wound up. And you know, I think that's really the key, is that people will express a lot. I see in our trading room almost every day people expressing emotions. I feel worried, I feel scared, I don't like this. This trade doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. These are all emotions, right? And we really need to remove emotions so that you're trading off of a rules-based system. And so, you know, it doesn't mean that you're always going to be right. You could still be wrong, but at least you've got some rules that you're following rather than just being a degenerate gambler, which is just going off of emotions and hunches. And again, I felt really solid with this trade, you know, obviously bumping right up against our 3860 level there. But nevertheless, it ended up doing exactly what all of the indicators that we look at told us it was going to do. Again, it doesn't always work, but we trade off of probabilities. And if you can find something, if you can find some tools, some indicators, something that you can put into a mechanical system of some kind that give you an edge or an advantage that work more often than they don't, then you can be a consistent trader. But you got to have something beyond emotion, guys. And again, I think today was just a really good example of that. Not only did we have a really great day, but we had some foresight as to why we did what we did, why we held this trade all the way up in here. And it was really right in this area right here that we started to see those sellers go away, or excuse me, those buyers go away. Obviously, there was still pressure to the upside, but the buying wasn't there sufficient enough to continue to push us higher. That's what all of our indicators at least were showing us. And that's why we stuck with the trade and ended up with a nice day. So again, guys, if you're whatever you're doing, trade a system. I don't know if you have a good system or a bad system, but have a system. Have the ability to have someone that is a newbie trader come to you and say, man, I don't know how to even structure this trade or approach it, or where my entry points or exit points should be, or how to manage risk. Have something in writing that you can lay out for them and say, this is the approach that I use, rather than just kind of going, well, I throw an iron condor on in the morning and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. That's just a binary, on off, it either works or it doesn't work type trade. And anybody can do that. There's no skill involved in that. And that's really a waste of time. That really is the essence of gambling. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. Hopefully that's helpful for you. I'll try to do a better job going forward here of updating you on our trades as they go forward. We've had a lot of fun in the trading room lately, tweaking and refining what we're doing, how we approach this. And I think that's the name of the game with trading, is that you're always trying to refine what you're doing. You're always trying to improve. And we'll talk to you guys soon.